Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. We've got tons to cover, as usual. Of course, it's only just the beginning. Remember, once this transfer window opens, actually the window's not open yet, is it? Today's the 1st of June. Is the window open or is it July? I need to check. It's 1st of July, isn't it? It's 1st of July. I think I'm getting carried away here. I need to double check though. I'm actually not sure. But the transfer window is going to be opening. If it's not already open, it's going to be opening very soon. Things are kicking off left, right and centre. So we're going to be active on here, telling you guys exactly what I feel, what I've got to say. We're going to make sure we give the coverage to every bit that happens. So make sure you guys are all here for it and make sure that you are subscribed so that you catch everything and hit the notification bell. Now, before we get cracking into what we did mention yesterday, we're going to lead off that into today's video. Today's the Champions League final. That will be kicking off soon. There is no watch along, I'm afraid. And I'm gutted because I wanted to do that watch along. But as some of you already know, and hence I couldn't do the last one, TV issues have meant that a replacement is needed and it's not going to make it in time, basically. So if not, you'd be watching a watch along of me watching a stream that's 4 minutes behind. I can't do that. I just can't do that. So basically, we're going to have to hold off. But I will cover my thoughts on the Champions League final tomorrow. That will make one of the 2 videos that I will do tomorrow. You're going to get a double upload, so make sure you guys are here for that. Now, let's get cracking with all the latest and all the news, because it's all been kicking off left, right and centre, not just for the Champions League final, but elsewhere. We're going to start off where we left off yesterday. So without further ado, here's the latest on Victor Osimhen. More on Chelsea and Osimhen. The swap deal with Romelu Lukaku was never really considered by Chelsea, as their stance on Lukaku is clear: £38 million price tag, take it or leave it. Osimhen currently not on the CFC list of summer transfer window targets. There was also a bit of news earlier on that with this possible swap, Chelsea are obviously looking just for £38 million for Lukaku. But there was also some inklings that Fabrizio gave as to why we've not considered Victor Osimhen. And there's 2 things here. Apparently, his words, the salary is a big problem. I think deep down the fee is a big problem too. And this is why yesterday I was asking, are we still in financial problems or what's going on? We need clarity on that. This whole June the 30th thing, like what's going on for that? As well as his age. Now, his age apparently was a factor, considering that we'd have to pay a lot of money. Now today, Chelsea did or are going to get a deal done for a certain individual who we're coming to very shortly, who is 26. So the under 25 thing doesn't apply to someone who's available on a free transfer. But is it the case that he's just over 25? Or is it more financial? And I think it's more financial, because after we got told about Victor Osimhen today, we've been told about numerous names that are all going to cost much cheaper. So it does genuinely look like Chelsea want to do business this summer, but they want to do things in a very constrained way. Some would say a very smart way. I think that is something we're just going to have to wait and see for. Although I have to be honest, and I'll get to it when we're going to get to it this video, some of these names have me intrigued. But we're going to get to that. Victor Osimhen, though, we need a striker. I feel like there are some people that are not convinced about the last year that he had at Napoli. I do have to stress, though, Napoli had a poor year. Kvaratskhelia, and he didn't play well. Napoli had a dreadful year. You know, you could argue someone like, I'll give an example, Harry Kane. Tottenham have always been Tottenham, but Harry Kane's always there for the golden boot. Yeah, that's a genuine, yeah, that's a good point. Osimhen this last season, I think, bagged 17 goals. People are obviously expecting of his caliber to bag more than 20 plus, right? And that's understandable, which he's done previously. But they feel for the size of the money that we have to pay for the release clause and the salary, it's a risk knowing that we're not going to get exactly what we want, or not knowing whether we're going to get what we want. So we turn to someone more cheaper. Now, I feel like the key here isn't about who right now is going to be bagging well, the most important thing is the amount of goals, obviously. But with Maresca coming in, there has to be a striker that is going to fit, right? The way that we're going to be playing. You have to. You put one target man up there like a Lukaku, it's not going to work. You just know it's not going to work. There has to be someone who's a little bit mobile. Now, I like to think Osimhen is mobile. But, correctly so, there are strikers that are going to cost less that are also mobile. Whatever way we go right now, it's a risk. But we have to be more sure than not that the next striker that's coming in is going to get goals. We haven't got a choice. So, it's going to be an interesting one. Now, that's on Osimhen. Let's move to the other business that we're going to be doing. Here's from Fabrizio. Chelsea are discussing internally whether they want to go for a new goalkeeper or not. Also looking at if they want one more centre-back. The centre striker is also a priority. Also looking at wingers. Do you see the amount of players we're actually looking to go for? This makes me think that, yeah, we pay 105 million or so on one player. We are probably going to be limited considering the financial situation in terms of going for all of those players. If we're going to go for a goalkeeper, a centre-back, we've already got one for free, but another centre-back, a striker, and we're looking at wingers. Not one, more than one. And I'll get to that because I'm going to mention both of them today. It's looking, realistically, to get Osimhen and all of this done is impossible. It's impossible. I just mentioned Chelsea's financial situation. It's impossible. So, it's take it or leave it. Now, when we hear the options that we're linked with, this is why I'm thinking, okay. But I still want to know who's that striker going to be. Let's start off with the centre-back. We've got one centre-back through the door. He's on his way. Check this out. TOSIN ADARABIOYO to Chelsea. Here we go. Initial approach 1 month ago and verbal agreement reached today. Medical tests have also been booked, set to take place next week. Document set to be signed after medical. If all goes to plan, exclusive story confirmed. So, TOSIN, welcome to Chelsea. I have to be honest, for a free transfer, this is a very good one. Very good free transfer. Yeah. Played at Fulham most of the season. As in played games. He wasn't just on the bench. He was playing. Looks good. Looks mobile. Gets stuck in. Looks a bit no-nonsense. But at the same time, I don't want to go in the whole direction of, he's really tall, therefore he's great in the air. He is actually good in the air. He is 1.96 m. But this is the one thing that I don't like. When we're told, we need height. We've got height. We need more than height. People are going to say, what height? Disasi's 1.90 m. Badiashile's 1.94 m. But are you telling me those are defenders we're going to stick with? Nah, you need more than just height in terms of those guys. TOSIN ADARABIOYO is someone that I think can be a very good central defender. And I think he is the one that's coming in to replace Thiago Silva, not Chalobah. Chalobah's still at the club. Chalobah will be sold. And then we'll look at seeing who we're going to get that's going to be younger than TOSIN, because TOSIN's 26. Now, TOSIN is coming in, I think, in more of an element of, I'm going to be a senior player here. Ultimately, there's a bit of history with TOSIN that I think is going to bring everyone at ease here, is Joe Shields. He grew up at Man City. So, what more do we want here? There's nothing else. He grew up at Man City. He played for Man City at youth level. He played for Man City in the youth league. And then bit by bit, I don't know if he went elsewhere and then he ended up at Fulham. I think so. And then he was playing at Fulham. And he's finished the season at Fulham. He's out of contract as of the 1st of July. So he's coming to Chelsea. For free, very good defender. Very happy with that. But we are going to be turning to another defender because we're getting rid of Chalobah. So that's the one that needs to make sense. Has to. So let's wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts. Here's more on TOSIN. If all goes to plan, TOSIN ADARABIOYO will undergo his Chelsea medical next week. Enzo Maresca will be formalised by then. Only legal paperwork holding up the announcement. Chelsea making early moves. TOSIN appreciated for his height and aerial prowess. Chelsea first entered the race around 3 weeks ago. They knew TOSIN wanted to assess all options really carefully, and it was never a guaranteed deal with Newcastle. So, yes, Newcastle have been heavily linked with him for a while. It looked like more times than not he was going to go over there. But Chelsea have managed to get the deal done. And fair play. As I've said, on a free move, it's a good move to pull off. This is what I'm saying, though. I think he has more to offer than just being good in the air. I don't want that to be his thing, because we're desperate for height. Defenders need just more than height, respectfully. If you've got a centre-back pairing or back four of small people, you just don't know what you're doing. You know, so you need more than just having people that are going to be tall and present. We've got tall people that have been shocking in the air. It's not about height. You know, like I've just said, the Sassia Bediashile, we've had problems with them. The way that they've abandoned attackers in the air. But they're tall. They're taller than me. I'm 6'4", I'm 6'1". So there's 6 foot, 6'1.5", basically. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see what happens. But welcome to Chelsea, TOSIN, ADARABIOYO. It's going to be a good one. Now here we get into other names, and this is where it starts to get a bit tasty. Check this out. Chelsea and Liverpool are still keeping close eye on Crescencio Summerville's situation at Leeds United. Both clubs have been monitoring him this season and showing interest in the recent weeks. Nothing advanced yet, but talks for Dutch winger are expected to begin soon. I mentioned Summerville a few weeks ago, if you remember. And there's one concern. Is he ready for the highest level of Premier League football? I think he's so much better than the Championship. I think he's a Premier League level footballer. Yeah, and he's a left winger, might I add. Can he operate consistently at the highest level? That's going to be the risk. But what I will say is I do like the player. I think he's a great winger. Right? I remember him coming on against Chelsea, if you remember, Chelsea-Leeds, when Leeds were in the Premier League. I remember literally looking, he got brought on. I remember looking at their bench and going, Summerville's not starting, they're crazy. And then he came on during that game, and I think we almost bottled that result. I think we just about, did we draw? Did we win? I think we won, just. But Summerville and a couple of other players came on, I was like, oh my God, they're going to turn the game around. And they nearly did. They nearly did, right? But Summerville causing havoc. He's a very good, threatening, attacking winger, right? Tons of dribbling ability. Very quick on his feet, low centre of gravity. Beautiful. But can he be consistent at the highest level? Now, the left wingers we have at the club are Sterling and Mudryk. I would like to think that he can compete with them. He can. Now, it's just a matter of, is he going to develop and become even better? Now, if he does, I think we could be on for quite a steal here, right? But again, that's the risk, and that's something we don't truly know, right? We don't know until when we actually see it. So it's a risk. It'll be low fee. It'll be a low cost risk. You could even argue the benefits outweigh the risks here. The pros outweigh the cons. What do you think? Let me know down below. But yeah, he's never operated at the highest level. Can he? Remains to be seen. That's the one thing that's the sticking point. Do you think he can? Let me know down below. But this would be very interesting business. And this is part of the players that we're now starting to understand and gather that are going to take portion of the fees of what we would pay for Victor Osimhen, basically. This is why I thought it would be a good way to balance things out today. So, there's more. Here's another one. Check this out. Chelsea really appreciate Michael Olise. We will return to the Olise case in the next days. Again, another Joe Shields linked player. And this one will cost a bit of money. This one, I think Olise has a release clause of 60 million. So if you're looking at 60 million, Summerville would cost, if I'm having to guess, I think Leeds will probably settle for about 30, 40 tops. I could argue, if I'm honest, I think in the future he'll cost much more than that. If he lands a top team, the value will instantly double or even triple. Right, because of the type of player he is. Now it depends on his output, but Olise will be 60 million. So you're starting to see where that money is going to be split. If we were to take 105 or so into Victor Osimhen, you could get Olise and Summerville for for just under the same fee. So what do you think? We're going to get to Michael Olise soon, like Fabrizio has said. We'll come to that when the time is right next week. Enzo Maresca is looking like he's going to be unveiled on Monday. So again, we're going to get to that on Monday when it's all announced and it's official and we get to hear from the guy as well. We get to hear from Enzo. Then I'll be sure to give you my thoughts and give you guys a video once that is all unveiled. Now, we turn our attention elsewhere. Here's the latest from PSG. Now, this is where big money moves are being made, man. This is crazy. Check this out. Major breaking. PSG are ready to offer 120 million euros for Kvisha Kvaratskhelia. Or Kvaratskhelia. I like to try and add authenticity to the names for the places that they are from, right? So I hope I've done it some sort of justice. But yeah, any native people can let me know if I've nailed it or not. Now, 120 million euros. That's about 105 million pounds. That's basically the same price as Victor Osimhen. Napoli are going to be raking this money in, by the way, right? And Conte is looking to get things done. Conte still wants Lukaku, by the way. That come out today. Conte wants Lukaku. So listen, you'd like to think that we could at least get Lukaku to Napoli. Even if Victor Osimhen doesn't come. But Conte can afford to buy Lukaku. With this money coming in, oh boy. And it also depends who would get a deal done for Victor Osimhen and pay that money. Oh boy. So we'll see what happens on that front. But Kvaratskhelia to PSG for that money, it's an upgrade, but I think Kvaratskhelia can do better. I'll be honest. I think PSG are a big club, but the league they are in lets them down. Let's just say that. The French league lets them down. They can never hit a level that they should be competing at with the names and money they have, if you understand what I'm saying. PSG should be a team that should be operating within Premier League teams. Do you know what I mean? They're never going to get that in France. They're just going to win that league year in and year out. So Kvaratskhelia is a player that has done well at Napoli that should be looking for the next level up. France can only give you so much. I think he'll just fizzle out. Maybe someone, a Barca, a Real Madrid, you know, even in Italy, he was to go to an Inter Milan. That would be, well, he's already at Napoli, but Napoli need work. So there's that. You go to a Bayern Munich, now their level's dropped. They're not the same. So again, Premier League, but it's a tough one. Let me know your thoughts on that potential move to PSG. And to wrap up, here's Rahman Osman with the latest on Jose. Fenerbahce and Jose Mourinho are expected to agree and sign a deal today. Mourinho likes the project and will be backed to bring players he likes. They want him to build a team like he did at Stamford Bridge when he first arrived at Chelsea. Wow. Okay, so you want a Petr Cech, you want a JT, you want a Lampard, you want a Drogba, not Ronaldinho, Drogba. You want, what more do you want? This is, you know. Do you want a Makalele? Do you want an Essien? Do you want an Ashley Cole that came later? Do you want, what do you want? Do you want a Paulo Ferreira? Do you want a Carvalho? Do you want... Listen, what a team that was. What a team that was, man. I still have that one loss at Main Road against Man City because one penalty meant that team could not finish the season invincible the year after Arsenal done it, man. And Chelsea would have done it better by a mile. Just... To this day, it still stings. But Fenerbahce have got Jose Mourinho, basically. Although, for Jose's words, and he's at TNT Sports tonight for the Champions League, and he has spoken to Sky Sports, and he's gave a little interview to Gary Cotterill, because they're decent mates. He respects him. He gave us the inside scoop, saying that he wants to go. It's basically done on his part, but the deal is not completely finalised yet. So it's just a matter of time. But he did speak about Fenerbahce having to play Champions League qualifying round, 3 rounds. Players are going to be at the Euros. It's going to be tough. It's going to happen, though. He will be joining Fenerbahce, and I wish him the best of luck. I think it's safe to say, and I've seen this online, I've seen this on Twitter, I've seen Fenerbahce fans and Chelsea fans conversing. That's something I never thought I'd see in my life. But there we are. It's amazing what the power of Jose can do. Just like Porto fans, just like Inter Milan fans, just like Real Madrid fans. Man United, kind of, to an extent, and definitely not Tottenham. Roma, yeah, in the club. They're in the club. And Fenerbahce are joining the club. So Fenerbahce, welcome to the club. You're going to love it. It's going to be interesting. But Jose's on his way there. Again, let me know your thoughts on that. And we'll also hear what he's got to say tonight around the Champions League final, because he is at Wembley, as I've said, covering that. So there we are. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will be here tomorrow to cover more news, as well as my thoughts on the Champions League final. And we will see what happens. Just to wrap up, prediction for that Champions League final. What do you think? For me, I would say Real Madrid win, but United Trey is at Wembley, and you know what happens when he shows up at games? The opposing team wins. So, for those that know, no. I am honestly, though, going to go... I can't see Real Madrid not winning this. I want to say Real Madrid 3, Dortmund 1. But I feel like I'm doing injustice to Dortmund. Can they pull off a shock? Let me know. Let me know down below. Much appreciated. And we will see what happens, and I'll react to it tomorrow. So I'll see all of you then. Thank you so much for watching, people. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow for all of it once said and done. Catch you then, people. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care, and peace.